Give a round of applause for the sister of the groom, Ariel.
All right, so he just said, I'm the sister of the groom, and I know it's not usually traditional for the sister of the groom to give a speech, but I've been wanting to give a speech at my brother's wedding since I knew there were speeches given at weddings. So I've been working on this speech for 23 years, and for me to have cut it down to this much, you should be so proud of me, Alfred. Yeah. So just to show their generosity and letting me speak, Alfred and I have pretty much always been very close, even though we're almost 4 years apart. And when I say close, I mean like twin phenomenon close. Like, I don't want to know what you're thinking right now, but I could if I wanted to. You know, I could tap into that. There were a few years he pretended he didn't like me tagging along, but I always knew I was his favorite person to hang out with. And I know without a doubt that he was my favorite person to play with as well. So Sheena can attest to the fact of I can tell a ridiculous number of hilarious stories about Alfred. And they would definitely put The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies combined to shame in the length that I could tell. But as none of you want to sit here for 20-some hours, I've decided to give a very sister-specific outlook and give a truncated version of some of my memories with Alfred. So I believe there are two types of learners as children. There are those who learn by watching others. You observe the outcome and you decide to either imitate or avoid said behaviors from what you see. And then there are those who learn by doing, and they just do it no matter what. And Alfred was this type of learner, the experiential learner, while I have always been the first type. So when Alfred ever says that he was spanked more than me, it's because I watched and learned, and he just did. So since I already mentioned spanking, I'll start with a spanking story. So, alright, and I should also say these are the things I learned from Alfred as his sister, not only through watching, but also interacting with him. So, there was this one time when I was young, I was lying in bed, I just put my head down on my pillow, and Alfred burst into my room, and he just hides between my desk and my bed, and I had no idea what was going on, I was ready to sleep. And he just stares at me with horror in his eyes, and I heard my dad going Alfred! And I remember going, oh my gosh, he's about to get spanked. And Alfred was just staring at me, he's like, shh, shh. And we only had 2 bedrooms, so I don't know what he thought was gonna happen, they weren't gonna check. So he ended up getting spanked, and the lesson I learned from that was that you should take responsibility for your actions, and with dignity, because otherwise, more people are going to know about your humiliation than they needed to. So that was a great lesson. Thank you, Alfred. Another lesson he taught me, also when we were young, we had this rule at the dinner table, maybe all of you know that have the same rule, but if you don't finish the food on your plate, you can't leave. So I remember this was just, we were sitting there, and it was just getting, it was getting tiring. It was the same thing. We're just sitting there, and he had all this mushroom, all these mushrooms on his plate. He still hates them, I believe. And I had all this broccoli on my plate, and it was just the two of us, and we were just looking at each other. And I think this was the phase when we still weren't sure that we liked each other. And he just looked at me. He took his fork, and he pointed, and he goes, "I'll eat all your broccoli if you eat all my mushrooms." Boom, deal, done. And it was then at that moment I learned that it's important to work as a team and utilize people's strengths. Yeah. And then the last kind of memory lesson are all the games that Alfred and I played together. Alfred and I, we just, sure we had TV and we had game consoles, but we just loved to play together. Or more importantly, I loved to play with him because he would always come up with these games. And, I just have a few names of games. There was Big Toe Wars. You can ask him about these games later. There was Sock Battle, there was Horizontal Mountain Climb, there was Crumbling Rock, Zombie Attack, Alien Attack, whatever else he felt threatened by attack. It was just all these things, and it would entertain the two of us for hours. And there's this one game I want to go into specifics about, because it is still my favorite game. And I wish I could still play this with him, but maybe one of you later can ask him to play this with you. It's called Magic Carpet Ride. You remember this? Yes. So what he would do is he would we'd be in one of each other's rooms, and he'd get on his back, and then he'd prop up his legs, and he'd put a pillow on his shins, and hold the front of the pillow and then have the rest down there and be like, all right, Ariel, you can come and sit on this pillow and we'll go on a little magic carpet ride. And he would paint these stories and he'd like go whoosh, whoosh, and I'd have to hold on for dear life. And the game would end if I fell off. So when he got tired, you could tell because he'd try to like shove me off a little bit. And it was just like even to this day, we'll be in the car and he'll just come up with, hey Ariel, let's do this game. Let's hold water in our mouths and then stare at each other and see who laughs first. And water just spurted out everywhere in his car. And, it's just that kind of thing. And that taught me, how to enjoy the simple things, how to be creative, how to just love life, and how to love people and to spend time with them and to enjoy that quality time. So obviously a lot of fun times being Alfred's sister. But it wasn't just about having a good time. The times I laughed hardest are definitely with Alfred. Being Alfred's sister also taught me about love, selflessness, patience, gentleness, and loyalty. I remember when I was going through, when you're young and you have your first boyfriend, you're trying to like, oh, maybe it's not going to work out, and I was kind of deciding whether to end a relationship. I remember Alfred came into my room, and he just sat down, and he listened to me, like let me pour out my heart, and he poured out his heart. And it was through that I was able to get a lot of insight that gave me the strength to do what I had to do. And just a couple years ago when Alfred and I moved to Virginia, my parents were overseas, just the two of us, and I got deathly ill, like 103-degree fever for like 4 days in a row, antibiotics weren't working, and Alfred stayed up all night to make sure I was still breathing. And I remember, because you're like uncomfortable when you wake up and you see him, I would just see him like changing like a cold rag over my head. And I remember he went out at 9 p.m. to buy a humidifier for me, and all the stores were closed, and he went to like 3 different places around town, and I didn't know until the morning, and there was this humidifier set up by my bed. And just countless times whenever I need someone to talk to. And sometimes I didn't even know I need someone to talk to. Alfred would come and talk to me. So honestly, I never thought, dang it. I never thought I'd fully approve of any girl for my brother. But I'm so happy that God brought you into his life, because as an observational learner, I can see just how much you encourage him to be who he is and to be better, to continue his silliness, and to continue having a good time, while also being a place for him when he needs rest, when he needs someone to just talk to him, to relax. And I'm just so excited to see what the Lord will do through you, with you, and I'm just so excited for you. So if I had a glass, I'd propose a toast, so you can all raise up a glass to the bride and groom. May their love, grace, and forgiveness abound like Christ's, and may their lives be full of joy and gladness, not because of circumstances that lie before them, but because of him that lives within them. Amen.